Welcome to It Takes Two. My name is Chris, and I will be reviewing The Never Ever Met Season 2, Episode 9. Listen here, y'all. I really was not going to record a review for this episode because I wasn't going to watch it. I've been reviewing Love Island every day, late night, and I was like, you know what? Blair's not here. No one is making me watch a show that I don't like. I can just do it next week, and then we can double up once Blair's back. But Blair said, don't do that to the people. I said, excuse me? She said, don't do that to the people. They have given you their subscriptions. They have given you their comments, their likes. They have even given you their money, Christopher. You can't do that to the people. I said, you know what? You're right, Blair. I'm not going to do that to the people. So today, I need y'all to subscribe. I need you to like. I need you to comment. And of course, I need a double super thanks because I had to write notes and I'm giving commentary. So I had to do double the work. Are y'all ready? Let's get into this. Blair Bear, help me with this. So Ty and Brittany are still yelling at each other. And she's cussing at him. She's pointing in his face, you know. He walks off to get some air. And Brittany goes over there talking to the crew, talking about she was trying to protect Ty in the moment, right? With her long response. Mind you, when they asked the question, she did not give an answer for almost 60 seconds. Like a real 60 seconds. So even though that little break where she thought she was protecting Ty, it was very obvious that whatever answer she gave wasn't an honest one. And then on top of that, we have other scenes throughout the season where she's talking to individuals, talking about how much she's not going to give Ty anything, right? So she's over there venting to them. And Jay, because you know Jay already don't like her, Jay said, do you think he feels respected by you in this house? I mean, it's only so much disrespect he's going to take. He waits on you hand and foot. He cooks for you. Breakfast in bed, and basically you haven't given him anything. He does everything for you and doesn't get anything back. Brittany's gonna say that's one-sided. That's all you see. You don't know what I do. Well, please enlighten us, Brittany, because I already knew what type of game you was on. You might can fool my wife, cause my wife over here talking about she got the ick. Oh no. I saw your game from day one. So Brittany over here talking about, y'all don't know what goes on in the house. You don't know what I'm doing. Well, we do know because you've been telling people that you don't like Ty like that. She said, y'all don't see everything. Alexis said, listen here. Ty just wants some affection, some hugs. And Jay said, hey, how about you go tickle Ty so you won't be tickling my man? I said, wait a minute. I said, say it again, Jay. She said, okay, I'll say it again. Why don't you go tickle your man so you can stop tickling my man? And what you see is literally a compilation of her touching every man in the house except Ty. I swear, Blair Bear, she was touching or at least complimenting every guy in the house except Ty. I ain't gonna hold you. At my age, if a woman that I never met and we don't really know each other like that and she wants to tickle me, oh yeah, she wants me. And I don't even like being tickled because I'm not ticklish. But I'm like, why are you rubbing on my stomach for? Why are you poking me? Because you want me to poke you. That's why. You want me to poke your back. That's why you're trying to tickle me. But anyway, let's keep going. So we see this whole B-reel of Brittany literally touching every guy in the house except Ty. And Jay said, you basically look like a promiscuous hoe on national television. Brittany was like, you doing too much. And Brittany go say, do you even know what that term means? Jay said, yeah, I do. It means you. That's what it means. And Brittany is in a confessional talking about, how am I the promiscuous hoe? I'm paraphrasing. If on the first day you was having sex with this guy in the shower. Sure. Me being a hoe doesn't take away the fact that you a hoe too. If we gonna throw hoes around and things of that nature, then cool, let's do that. But the whole idea that basically Jay is on Brittany's back is mainly because you keep touching her man. That's basically what it is. And truth be told, Brittany, you really have no excuse of why we seen that compilation of you touching Sinko as many times as we saw. Literally no excuse, right? Brittany said she doesn't have to take this. Jay said, well, you can leave. So she storms out the kitchen. Ty comes back in the kitchen and he's venting. He said, I am tired of apologizing. Brittany is talking to her diary cam, and she says she cannot have conversations with stupid. And unless Ty has something to say, she is leaving. So now she's putting the onus on Ty to basically come and apologize for nothing again. Right? And basically saying, hey, if you don't do something about it, I'm leaving, Ty. So we find out that there's 3 days left that they are in that house. And Jay and Sinko is having a conversation. They are having a discussion about where they are going to live. Where are they going to relocate? He wants her to move to Atlanta, and she wants him to move to Chicago. She is saying, I have a 4-year-old, and it would be harder for me to move because my whole support system is here, and you just got you. And truth be told, I agree with her. Here's what I agree. I do not agree with the reasons why she started off with, because she started off with by trying to put the responsibility on the kid. Basically saying that the kid is young and this child has best friends and things of that nature. And I understand that the kid is 4, and I understand that at 4 years old, things may seem important. But at 4 years old, I'm sorry, that kid can move. But she says something which I 100% agree with. That she said her support system is in Atlanta. Basically, when it comes to watching the kid, when it comes to her village. And my thing is, it is more taxing on her to uproot her life, especially if it's just him. If all he have is a laptop and some sneakers, I don't see why he won't move to Chicago if y'all serious about this. And here's the thing about it. I understand that, Atlanta, it's a major city, but Chicago's a major city too. So it's not like there may be some culture shock, but it's not like I'm asking you to move from North Dakota or the middle of nowhere to come to a major city to where it may be too fast for you. Here's the thing about it. I like the fact that they are having a discussion. I'm liking the fact that they are disagreeing with each other, and they are disagreeing with each other healthy. You get what I'm saying? Because there's nothing wrong with confrontation. Don't avoid confrontation. But there should not be any time to where we now make enemies of each other. The issue is the enemy. And let's keep the enemy the issue, or let's keep the issue the enemy. And to me, I can see it 100% from Jay's perspective. At first, I was like, does it really matter? The kid is 4. But I'm like, hey, Sinko, if you really want to be with this girl, his name's Sinko. Sinko, if you really want to be with this girl, you have to do everything you have to do to basically fit in with her and her package deal. She's a package deal because she has a kid, right? So let's move on. Brittany calls Ty outside for a chat. She tells him, so I don't think this is working. She said, if you truly cared about me, you would have defended me when I got ganged up on. Ty said, you put your finger in my face, so I walked away. I come back in the kitchen, and all I hear is how you be touching every guy in the house, and I haven't laid a finger on no one here. If y'all remember that episode where they went to Top Golf, to where Brittany first talking about, you don't pay attention to nobody. I mean, you pay attention to everybody except me. I thought you came here to get to know me. And at first, everybody could see it from her POV, but we did not know that she was over here touching people, though. At least Ty wasn't touching people. And Ty said, listen here, there's no reason why you're touching people in the house, and I'm not touching nobody. And he kind of wants like an explanation, like, why are you doing that? She said, oh, it's nothing. Ty said, but I don't touch no other woman in this house, and you do not take accountability for anything. I don't even know if you know what that word means. So they both decide that it's not working, and they are the next one to leave. Meanwhile, Brittany's walking through the house, and she's basically walking upstairs to get her bags. She's walking by the group, and she ain't really saying nothing. And the only issue that I have with this scene, and the only issue I have with them deciding to go home, I wish Ty was the one to actually bring up the conversation and to make the decision. Because she already wasn't feeling you. This has nothing to do with no ick, Blair. This has nothing to do with, oh, he is too much and maybe he don't know how to talk to women. He was never liked by this woman. She liked the fact that, guess what, that he waited on her hand and foot. And he even said, I have a problem with putting other people before me. And guess what? That's a you problem, Ty, and you need to fix that. But the whole idea that she got the ick off of this guy, Listen here, at the end of the day, that did not stop her from taking the crab legs, the lobster tails, over here getting foot massages and things like that, basically being waited on hand and foot. If she knew that she did not like this man, she shouldn't have accepted any of those things. But I digress. I'll wait till Blair get back so I can yell at her, right? So, Charlie said in the confessional, which I 100% agree, she said, Brittany did not like that man. Just admit it. Brittany is leaving. And she only said bye to Charlie because Charlie's walking her out. And she spoke to KeKe, but in passing. There wasn't no, waiting here, having a conversation. And Jay is basically happy that she's leaving. Basically, hey, I like the group that's here. She can go. F that girl. And I'm like, I can't really blame Jay for feeling that way. Brittany kept touching this woman's man. Right? So now we move on. And it's Kiki and Brandon turn for their family and friends to come to the house, right? And KeKe got the nerve to say that she believes that her and Brandon is in a great spot. Let's stop right there for a second, Blair Bear. Everything I'm about to say from this point on, I just want to make this clear and put this disclaimer out there because I don't want Blair to come back and we don't got a channel. So I want to put this disclaimer out there. Everything I'm about to say about KeKe from this point on is based off of the character that she has shown to us on the show. Because I cannot believe this is who she is in real life. I believe that she came on this show, maybe this fictional show, and she showed a fictional character. Because if this is the person that she really is, everything that we are about to go through in a couple of minutes right now, this got to be one of the worst people I've ever seen, like on TV. She will fall in that category. So everything I'm about to say is based off of the character that I believe that she acted on this show. I don't know KeKe from a can of paint. So she said that she believes that Brandon and her is in a great spot, even though she has been holding on to this secret since episode 2, right? Even though she hasn't told him that she basically cheated on him for the full duration of the relationship, she believes they are in a great spot, Blair Bear. She is hoping that Brandon has a secret too, so it will not be as bad. Now, let's stop right there. You know why she thinks that? Because she's following the template of Charlie and Jared. Charlie had a secret. Hey, I had a 1-month-old baby. Didn't tell you about it. Oh, yeah. I hit other children, too. I got 4 kids in all. And she's basically like, you know what? Y'all still together. Y'all still working it out. This is my opinion. So hopefully he have a secret, too. And whole time, I'm like, what's wrong with this girl? Like, something is not mentally there for her to be hoping that, you know what, we could just call it even, as if like it's always work out that way. But let's keep going. Charlie and Jared are talking, and they're basically talking about their future. But truth be told, he's still lying to this girl. And Charlie is kind of picking up on like Jared lies. And my thing is, I wonder if Jared is lying to this girl for fun, because truth be told, he don't got to lie to this girl. To get everything that he got from Charlie, he could have literally just told her the truth. I don't want no relationship with you. You came this far. Let's have sex. And she would have been like, okay. For sure. Anybody who's willing to leave a 1-month-old, she's leaving with something. And I know I said 1-month-old. I just like saying it. Anybody who's willing to leave their 1-month-old baby, it's just easy to say, Blair, I don't know why, right? They are not leaving empty-handed. She's going to at least sleep with that man, especially if she's been talking to him for 4 years. He didn't have to lie to that girl. He did not have to lie to that girl. But I think he's just lying for fun, right? So, Sinko is planning a date for Jay. And they are going to create their own perfumes. They went to this place. It's very nice. They start picking out their scents, things that they like. She like, French vanilla. He likes fresh clothes, fresh linen and things of that nature. And they enjoyed the date. And, of course, Sinko had to ruin it by bringing up moving to Atlanta. And he is basically trying to put the onus of basically, hey, he's a kid. Your child is 4. You don't know how strong he is. He may love it. And I'm like, hey, how about this? It is very important to understand, unless you are going to be everything for that kid, Sinko, do not underestimate the value of a village. Don't underestimate the value of a support system. She has babysitters, probably mama, daddy, auntie, sis. She got a whole system, a whole routine that is based around her kid and things like that. And she's basically saying you don't have it. And it just sounds like you just don't want to move to Chicago. But if you want to be with her, you have to make that move, right? So we are back at the crib. Kiki and Brandon is playing cards or whatever. And Kiki's friend Maya shows up. And Brandon's brother shows up. And the nicest thing he said to anybody in that house, when he saw Alexis, he said, "You smell nice." And then he began to show himself around the house. He just basically said, "Where's my brother?" I said, well, at least he said, you smell nice. But he basically was like, listen here, I ain't really here for y'all. Where's my brother? Right? Kiki begins to tell Maya about how Brandon Kiki begins to tell Maya about how Brandon says that she has a drinking problem. And she's like, girl, you know I don't have a drinking problem. Now Brandon's outside with his brother, and he is telling him his side of Kiki's drinking problem. Like, yeah, man, she got a drinking problem. She said she finished a whole bottle. Her and her best friend. I wonder if this is the friend she finished the bottle with. In the comments, episodes ago, she came in our comments and she said it was a bottle of wine. I don't believe that. Why y'all sharing a bottle of wine? I don't believe that. So Maya asked Kiki, hey, have you been fully transparent with him? Because she know her friend be lying. Kiki then began to ramble on about how she was waiting for her to get there, right? Because she just know what words to say. And then she tells Maya, I hope he has a secret too. And I'm just like, oh, that's your role in the friendship, Maya. Your role is to basically be the mouthpiece. Whenever Kiki want to go back and forth between being an adult and being a child, whenever she is a child, you have to speak for her. You have to explain things because you just know what to say. But, let's keep going. So Christian, that's the brother name, Kiki, Maya, and Brandon all meet, and they all sitting down. Brandon and Kiki begin to list all the things they learn about each other. Brandon starts off, and I think he only said one nice thing out of a list of like 5 things. He started off by saying, she's caring, but then again, she only cares about herself. She only like to do things her way. She's not really graceful. Oh yeah, and she's alcoholic. That's basically what it was. Like, she cool, but really, these are her problems. Christian said, Brandon told me that you drink every day. So now Christian just seemed like the type of person, based on their relationship, talking about Brandon and Christian, that, hey, you know what? We gonna go straight forward with this. Because just a couple minutes ago, Brandon and Christian was outside talking about, hey, we had to see a lot growing up. And Brandon had to take on responsibility as a kid himself because people in his family was dropping their responsibilities because they was a prisoner to the bottle. So he don't want to deal with that. This may be a big trigger for him. So now Christian is going straight for the gusto. He going straight. Hey, Kiki, I heard you drink every day. She said, no, it's not every day. But if I do drink every day, this is like a vacation. Like, think of it. If you on a cruise, would you have a drink every day? Christian said, I would. But the thing about it is, this is not a vacation, Kiki. See, the reason why you think it's a vacation, because we're near the end of the vacation. And now you done spent all the other days, all the other 8 episodes and things of that nature, eating, drinking, not caring, not cooking, not cleaning, because when it was your time to cook and clean, you didn't. You get what I'm saying? You basically been lounging around like you've been on vacation. And now when it's time to get to the work, now you're like, oh, everybody's leaving. It's time to go. Oh, I think I should tell him my secret now. Why didn't you tell me your secret before? Because it would have ruined your vacation, right? Word. So Kiki, Christian said, oh, yeah, my brother flew to Atlanta 4 times and you flaked on him. Now, here's the thing about it. You only got one time to flake on me. And you're going to reimburse me for that ticket. You're going to reimburse me for that ticket, and you only got one time to flake on me. So now I'm putting the onus on Brandon now. Brandon, what is it about KeKe, or what was it about KeKe, who you never met in person, made you set up a time to meet 4 times? And each time she didn't meet. Okay, the first time, okay, joke's on me. The second one, okay, joke's on me again. By the third and fourth time, now I got to look at Brandon and say, hey, listen here. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You haven't met this girl. Yes, y'all in a relationship online and things of that nature, but what is it about KeKe? So far, I haven't seen any good attributes about KeKe on the show that will make me want to get on a plane and go see her. But I digress. So Christian said, oh yeah, my brother flew out to Atlanta 4 times and you flaked on him. He don't trust you. KeKe tells Brandon that, hey, the reason I couldn't see you was because I was still involved with my ex. Christian said, hey, how long were you with this said ex? Like, how long were you with this ex? She said 8 years. At this point, Christian is wincing on the couch. He just like, oh my gosh, basically the full duration of their relationship. Then she tried to flip it on Brandon. Like, oh, I know you was talking to someone these past 4 years. Like I know you had to be. And Brandon's like, no, I haven't. And she's like, no, you have to be, because it's impossible for me just to be wrong. You gotta have a secret, because that's how it's supposed to go. Listen here, Jared had a secret, Charlie had a secret, Clay had a secret. Why don't you have a secret? He said, I haven't talked to nobody. Right? Meanwhile, I'm looking at the best friend Maya. Maya just looking like Maya, dude, you know what Maya looked like? She looked like she'd been through this before with KeKe. She looked like, you know what, KeKe, I'm here just so that they don't jump you. But I've been through this before where you have to right your wrongs and straighten out your crooked lines and things of that nature. So KeKe tells, KeKe is Brandon is of course upset. He's storming off and things like that. He's feeling some type of way. And then KeKe got the nerve to say that she regrets telling Brandon. Now she's over here talking to Maya while Maya's about to leave, talk about some Brandon think he's Mr. Perfect as if he ain't got nothing. And I'm just like, how dare she? How dare you try to switch it? How dare you try to make it seem like, oh, Brandon trying to act like there's things wrong with him. And even while they was talking, Maya's trying to get some type of understanding of, hey, I feel like y'all kind of pouncing on her because she drink. Do you drink? And he said, yes, I drink to my limit. So that eludes us, or at least give us the feeling that KeKe drinks past her limit. That she's not mature enough to stop when she gets to her limit. She already told us what number she gets to, and the therapist told her, yeah, you're over drinking, you're binge drinking. Like that's too much. Even for her. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, she storms into the kitchen after she tells Maya bye. KeKe goes into the kitchen and she tells the group that Brandon is tripping. I told him, basically she's talking to Jay, Sinko, and everybody who was in the kitchen. Chris, I think Chris was in there. Jared was in there, I think. And she's basically like, Brandon's tripping. I told him basically, okay, yes, Sinko, I basically cheated. But listen, I was living with my ex, and I told him that the times that I couldn't see you was because I was still with him. We've been together for 4 years, but I've been with this ex for 8 years. And in some way, she tried to explain it away, and the group let her get away with it as if what Jay and Sinko think is basically the law. Sinko over there talking about, oh, that's nothing. Sinko, I seen you get mad at the never have I ever game. And this guy not supposed to be mad because I've been with her for 4 years and she's been dating her ex for 8 years, and she just stopped talking to him back in February? But I seen you get mad because she slept with 2 guys in a day talking about Jay, allegedly, before she even met you. And when she didn't answer, she's basically flipping out on you. But Brandon not supposed to feel what he's supposed to feel. But I digress. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll leave it open for me to be wrong. So they all in the kitchen, and Brandon comes, and he's basically giving her the silent treatment. He's basically making himself a taco, and he's basically getting up out of there. He's like, I'm not dealing with this. It's the next morning, and KeKe, Sinko, and Jay is trying to uplift KeKe about her situation. And Sinko is trying to mansplain, basically, like, hey, this is why he's mad. And I don't know why Sinko feels like he needs to explain why Brandon is mad. If she talks to Brandon, Brandon will tell you exactly why he's mad. And stop trying to make it seem like this is just an ex. This was your fiance. And he's like, you know what? If people ask me for advice, I give it to him and things like that. Listen here, I understand that y'all say that y'all are the best couple, but out of everybody on the show, it's not hard for Sinko and Jay to be the best couple. No beef or anything. I just think y'all need to focus where y'all go live once y'all leave this house. So Brandon and KeKe sit down and they talk. And Brandon said, why didn't you tell me all this beforehand? Like, you had many opportunities to tell me about this whole, like, situation thing that you was going through. Now, mind you, previously in other scenes, no one can believe, mind you, this group of bad people that we see on the show, allegedly, right? Because we got Jared, we got Charlie, we got even Alexis, even a little bit. I don't think she's bad. I actually like Alexis. She's cool, right? But they do not believe that he did not do anything in these past 4 years. And he said, like, I didn't do anything because I thought I was in a relationship with this girl. So whole time, he's trying to talk to her saying, why didn't you tell me this beforehand? Like, there was times. We even had games about secrets, and you said you don't have no secrets. And then, guys, I lied to you not. Blair Bear, KeKe begins to gaslight the hell out of Brandon. When I say gaslight, I'm talking about pure gaslight, trying to make it seem like he's a bad person. Because to her, she even said it to Sinko when she was in the kitchen. She said, I understand I told you the secret like less than 12 hours ago, but now it's time to get over it. I'm going to say this about KeKe now. I'm done with the notes. I can close my laptop. I believe everything that I see about KeKe, I hope is fictional, because everything I'm about to say, I hope you just did it for TV ratings. I've seen people that do the same thing that me and Blair do when it comes to reviews, talk about KeKe in ways that we would never talk about KeKe, in the sense of talking about her weight, right? Using her weight as a metric to define what type of person she is. And we don't need to grab low-hanging fruit on this channel and things like that. But I will say this. This has nothing to do with your weight. Your weight is the least important thing to me, really. You have ugly character. Ugly character. It goes beyond accountability. It goes beyond being a liar. It goes beyond people using your weight and things like that. The thing about it is, it always got to be about you. And it's not that you don't understand. It's that you're just flat out inconsiderate. And being inconsiderate is a child trait. There is some arrested development going on with you, KeKe, based on what we've seen on the show. Like I said, I hope this is a fictional character that you are showing us on the show. I hope that you are not an ugly person on the inside in real life. But on the show, you have shown us and that basically you do not care about nobody. When it was time to cook for everybody, you stayed in the bed. When it was time to clean for everybody, you did not clean for everybody. When it came time to tell the truth, you didn't tell the truth. You're a liar. Because guess what? It would have messed up your vacation. all of these are examples that we've seen. I'm not pulling these things out of thin air and things of that nature. These are things that we have seen. Blair Bear just saw this episode and she's like, what is going on? And I'm like, Blair Bear, she's inconsiderate. She's an ugly person inside. This have nothing to do with the death of your parent, because I lost both parents and I am nothing like this. Before the age of 30, both my parents was gone. Both. 12 for the mother. And before I was 27, 28, daddy was gone too. And what I'm seeing with KeKe, based on the characteristics that I see on the show, is that you are trying to use this whole like, oh, I know you did something, so that would justify me doing something. And at the end of the day, I have to blame Brandon. KeKe has shown herself many times that this is not someone that you should invest in when she flaked on you 4 times. See, I'm not only going to pounce on KeKe. KeKe is who she is, and she's probably not going to change. Maybe she see herself and she's going to change and things like that. But based on the conversation that they had at breakfast, to where she tried to flip it on him, basically saying like, I can't enjoy my breakfast, like you're inconsiderate. I thought you said a couple days ago y'all was in a great spot. But now we at breakfast, when you are basically being held accountable, now it's Brandon. Hey Brandon, you act like you ain't got nothing wrong with you. There's a bunch of things that there's wrong with you. Name them. Because as far as I know, unless Brandon tells us otherwise, he haven't cheated on you. But you was in a whole relationship. Engaged. And that's why I got to go at Brandon. Brandon, what is it about KeKe that you like? Because when it was time to list the things in front of the best friend and your brother, to list the things that, y'all learn about each other, you only named one nice thing. And that nice thing was not really like tailored to her. It was a vague thing. So now I got to ask you, what are your reasons for liking KeKe? You have a fetish or something like that? To invest 4 years of her flaking on you to be in this fake relationship or whatever you want to call it? The first date y'all had, you have a photo shoot where she's barely wearing clothes, where she got to wear lingerie and things of that nature? But yet you want to do this with a girl that flaked on you 4 times. You see, here's the thing about it. I am no longer going to start. I'm not blaming KeKe I'm not giving all the blame to KeKe, where Brandon, you hold some autonomy in this relationship, and how, showing up to the airport, buying a ticket. So now I need to know, what was the payoff of liking KeKe? Because there's no way I can believe that KeKe was a different way on the phone and on Skype, and then when the cameras turn on, she just turned to this inconsiderate grown adult. There's no way. So what was the payoff, Brandon, that made you overlook? Now, the alcohol can catch you by surprise, because unless you're with the person, you really don't know. But everything else everything that is wrong with KeKe is deep rooted in her character. So now I need to ask Brandon, hey, what was it about KeKe, or what is the payoff that you was trying to get from KeKe, us being with this woman for this long, where she flaked on you 4 times? What was the payoff? Because people like KeKe go be alone forever. The characteristics that she's shown, they don't win. People like that don't win in the end. Lauryn Hill said it the best. Even though she can't show up on time, she said it the best. Whenever she is there, how are you going to win when you ain't right within? This have nothing to do with your weight. This have nothing to do even with the drinking, to be honest. It's just character. You have to do things to build character. And until KeKe show us that she can take accountability and build character, I really do not know what Brandon sees or what you saw. So guess what? When I saw this scene, and when I saw the scenes of this episode, I was mad at Brandon. I wasn't even mad at KeKe, because we already knew who KeKe was by episode 3. I was mad at Brandon, because I'm like, Brandon, there's no way. There's no positive trace about this girl. So guess what? I need y'all to subscribe. I need y'all to like. I need y'all to comment. And I need y'all to super thanks. And in the comments, I need y'all to tell me what are the good traits of KeKe. The KeKe that we seen for 9 episodes. Because I took the notes. I watched the show. I reviewed the show. And I can't list one good thing about KeKe. I can't list one good thing about KeKe. So somebody help me. KeKe, if you're in the comments, help me. What are the good characteristics of KeKe that Brandon should still invest in? Because even if you feel like, Brandon, you want to fix something, no. I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But let us know. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and super thanks. Double super thanks because I did double the work. And Blair Bear, thank you for being a good co-host. I'll see y'all next time.